The Adobe company has been around since 1982, and the list of their products includes programs beyond Photoshop, Premiere or After Effects. There is Audition for sound editing, Adobe Illustrator for vector graphics creation. There are also InDesign, InCopy, Adobe Fresco, and almost 20 other software. I'll focus my attention on the company itself and their most popular product, Photoshop. I'll tell you why I decided to ditch the company and the program after 10 years of working with them. And I'll also tell you what photo editor I choose instead. I have a lot of things to say and some Adobe fans might find my words controversial. You're welcome to debate me in the comment section, but on one condition. Please prove your point factually. Perhaps I'm truly in the wrong. So let's go down to it. My friendship with Adobe began with Photoshop CS2. Those are some sweet memories. That's right, this was the software I made my first steps in photo editing with. I remember being overwhelmed by sheer number of tools. I remember experimenting with all the sliders, rasterizing the image using the lasso tool, and being confused by the pen instrument. Now a decade has passed. Adobe has changed their distribution model to subscription, and the CS version no longer exists. Now we have a CC version which feels almost identical. On one hand, this is a good thing since prior users won't need to get accustomed to a new interface. The toolkit has been expanded, but if you watch a couple of tutorials on Photoshop CS2 or CS5, you'll get the gist of these tools in the CC version. But there are still things I want to grumble about. Take the last 3 years. Photoshop has gained no new features. Granted, there's automatic object selection, neural filters, a few additions to Adobe Camera Raw, and is that it? Well, the gradients have become smoother. I don't think that this is what has been critically missing. Right, there is the introduction of the collaboration feature. There's joke-making rounds on the internet about how your client can now access your project and mess with it right in the process. Now I want to direct my attention to the Creative Cloud subscription and its available options. The subscription to all the Adobe products will cost you $50 a month. Seems nice, you get access to 20 plus programs, cloud services, video and photo stocks, just for measly $50. But I personally only use Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects. $50 for 3 programs seems excessive. I prefer to have my project stored on the hard drive to have access to it whenever I need it. Then I stopped video editing with the Adobe software, and the number of the programs I used out of the whole deal dropped to just 1. I had to switch to the photographer suite, which is only $10 a month. This deal is 5 times cheaper and only offers Photoshop, Lightroom and the mobile versions of these programs. Granted, a couple of times I did switch back to the full suite, but crawled back to the photographer suite almost immediately for all the same reasons. When you buy a subscription to some software, you expect the developer to not only give you full access to the software's functions, but also update the program regularly. At least I thought this is how it worked. But like I said before, in the span of 3 years, Adobe only made a couple of tiny and less than useful additions to the toolkit. The quick selection tool now highlights the objects in blue. That was not necessary since there are tons of additional selecting options within the software. The collaboration feature is the questionable thing. Neural filters aren't all that developed and don't match those they demonstrated during the presentation. Have you seen the standard filters library in Photoshop? It hasn't changed in 10 years, and you keep paying for this negligence. Some of us pay $10, some pay $20, and others cough up $50. Now I see the news that Adobe is planning yet another presentation of the globally renewed Photoshop. I highly doubt that they'll give us something revolutionary. Maybe they could take cue from Blackmagic design, since their DaVinci Resolve has been labeled Adobe Premiere Killer. And speaking of, if you are a Windows user, you might not relate to what I am about to say, but please let me vent for a bit. A year ago I bought a MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. This is an awesome laptop for a wide range of tasks except gaming. I bought the full package subscription just in case, and I was shocked by Premiere's performance. That was the time when Adobe hadn't had a chance to optimize their software for the new chip, which is not big deal really. I decided to give it a couple of months. The time passed and Adobe proclaimed that now Premiere runs natively on M1. No code interpreter needed. I download the software, run it, but I can see that it still works through Rosetta, meaning it is not working natively. And that is not the worst part about using Premiere on a Mac laptop. The interface is riddled with bugs, replay is lagging, and some plugins plain don't work. Just a side note, DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut work perfectly. Sure, now Premiere works natively, but it still doesn't give a perfect performance. Some users have come to the conclusion that the program's engine is way too old and the only way of fixing it is rewriting the whole code. That doesn't seem to be a user's concern. We pay our money, but still can't get a properly functioning program for over a year. But let's get back to photo editing, shall we? There is no progress in terms of functionality of Photoshop, but we still pay money for the subscription. Does that mean we have to switch to Paint to edit our images? There is no need. The market is overflowing with alternatives to the Adobe giant. Take PhotoWorks for instance. The fullest version of the software costs $79.80, and this is for a lifetime license. The software is regularly updated with new tools and features. This is more of a Lightroom alternative, but PhotoWorks still supports a photo overlay. This photo editor offers tools for basic photo correction, portrait retouching, and much more. The interface is clear and minimalistic, and the program itself is lightweight and undemanding hardware-wise. Once you install PhotoWorks, you won't have to deal with tons of additional utilities swarming your hard drive. Here is what I'm talking about. I installed Photoshop and now have to deal with Creative Cloud, Updater, and stuff like that. And let's look at PhotoWorks now. The software itself is all I have on my hard drive. By the way, you can order this photo editor at a huge discount if you follow the link in the description. In no way am I trying to devalue Photoshop. Adobe products are really good provided you don't look too deep into them. The Adobe company is an undisputed king on the market, but even such giants have blunders from time to time. That is why I feel it is necessary to show their blunders to users. Otherwise, you'll be giving your hard-earned money for a subpar product. What's your opinion on the matter? Have you switched from Photoshop to something else as well? Or are you fully content? Let us know in the comments. My name is Victor, thanks for watching. See you next time.